Welcome back to News 46 Week in Review. This last Tuesday morning, Nye County Commissioner meeting approved the permit for the annual Pahrump Fair and Festival. One item that was not discussed was the same that occurred last year regarding security at the popular event.
Well, Deanna, it's more than security. The whole festival this year is just costing us more money overall for various reasons. So we're a little tight on the budget, and the security this year is one of the major items. It's probably at least a fifth of our budget, if not more.
How did we solve this problem last year?
Last year, the county stepped up and paid most of it or at least took care of it through the county's budget and Tony's budget and so forth. And listen, we have nothing against the police getting paid for what they do. We need them.
How much was it last year?
Honestly, I don't know. No one has given me that number yet. Essentially, they asked for $36,000. I know it was nowhere near there when the final bill came in, but I guess Pam Webster might be able to answer that better.
What are we looking at this year as far as numbers? What it's going to cost for the whole Pahrump Fair and Festival?
Oh, probably about a good 100,000, maybe 120. Just, I'm off the top of my head here, but it's somewhere in that zone. The issue is the security, and again, we need it. We want it. We want to be safe for everybody. That's our primary goal.
How much is the security for this year's?
That's the equivocal question. We thought the commissioners might address that, but they didn't. They did give us the license for the festival, but they have not addressed issuing any payments for that. So I guess it's all on our shoulders. Basically, there's a couple different ways to look at it. We have to have either private security, or we have to have the Nye County Sheriff Department, or we have to have a combination thereof. And that's what we have to go back to the drawing board right now and figure out. Captain Beck's been very helpful in trying to give us some numbers, but he's still working on them as well.
So the sheriff's deputies are $30 an hour?
That's what they charge to do private security off hours, yes. It's a bargain because if we have to pay them straight up through overtime, it's $50 and more. So actually the $30 is more palatable.
Do you know how many officers we're going to be needing?
Well, the number that we're looking at throughout the days is 14 per shift. That's the high occupancy hours. So anything in between like midnight and 8, it's a little less.
And then did you ask the commissioners specifically for the monies for the security?
We did last time, but that was an issue of they really couldn't figure that out, and they brought us back today. I'm really not sure for what, other than to issue us the license, and we appreciate that, of course, but we didn't get any remedy on this. So we have 50 days till the festival, so we got to figure this out real quick.
And so will you be looking at bringing this up to the county commissioners in the near future? Because we're so close to the festival once again.
No, it's impossible at this point. We either have to do this and make it work, or it's not going to happen.
And we spoke to Captain Bill Beck from the Nye County Sheriff's Department to get some more information regarding the security issue for this year's festival.
That's the same thing as last year and the year before, is trying to coordinate the event so that everybody's safe and the property's safe and the public's safe, as well as coordinate for the funding of the event. It's a private event and typically has been funded by the county coffers.
Before this was a city event, now it was given to PAVE, so it is a private event. So the Nye County Sheriff's Office now has to look for funds by getting it either from the town of Pahrump or from the Nye County Commissioners. This item was not on the agenda, though, today.
No, what occurred today was a public hearing for the approval of the permit for the Fall Festival. There's no discussion mentioned or made about who's going to fund it and who's going to pay for it.
Last year, one of the issues was how are we going to pay for this, and then you also have to schedule your officers to be on on the schedule actually for that time during the Pahrump Fair and Festival and the parade. You need approximately 2 weeks ahead of time to put them on the schedule. Is this item going to come up for funding? Do we know where you're getting the funding at this point?
At this point, it's being worked out with the PAVED organization. And I got to tell you, Sergeant Jackson and the troops down here were great in throwing their personal lives aside last year to work the event on like 3 days' notice. She did a very good job coordinating it, getting it scheduled, and all the troops that worked, all the personnel that worked it. I said pretty much set whatever plans they had aside so they could help out and work the event.
PAVED is looking at possibly hiring private security and the Nye County Sheriff's Office in coordination, or just the Nye County Sheriff's Office or officers outside that aren't on the schedule. Are you going to be giving them kind of a idea of what we're looking at as far as numbers at a certain point?
Yeah, Paul is supposed to be emailing me or faxing me a exact list of what staffing level she wants, and then I'm going to work to meet that.
Let's talk about the private security and their police powers. If they decide to, in fact, have private security and the Nye County Sheriff's Office. And by the way, the Nye County Sheriff's Office still has to actually beef up the force on those days anyways.
Yes, yeah, and that was also part of the discussion and figuring out for the funding, is because it still requires some level of presence at the park for assistance, for transports. We still have the lost children matter to take care of and things like that we still have public safety issues to deal with down there.
And folks, here's Deanna O'Donnell with your news across Nevada.
Nevada's foreclosure rate is 6th in the nation after big drops in activity compared with last year. Reality Track reports that Nevada's July foreclosure rate is 26% down from June and 72% down from the same time last year. 1 in every 415 properties in the state saw some sort of foreclosure filing last month. That rate fell behind California, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and Illinois. The state's rate has been declining as lenders adjust to a state law requiring more paperwork to launch a foreclosure. That law took effect in October and dramatically slowed Nevada foreclosure activity. 7 people scammed by a business called Save Your House got restitution checks, and Nevada State Attorney General Catherine Cortez Masto is offering their experience as a lesson for homeowners seeking help to avoid foreclosures. Masto said quick restitution as part of a plea deal is a first for her office. In all, Masto says 12 victims received checks averaging $3,000 for fees lost between August of 2008 and July of 2009 to Las Vegas-based Save Your House. Masto stated that her office will continue to investigate and prosecute loan modification scams and similar crimes. The Obama administration has approved Nevada's request to substitute its own student achievement and teacher accountability standards for the federal No Child Left Behind law. Nevada plans to create the Nevada School Performance Framework for classifying and rewarding school performance. The state applied for a waiver in February, but officials reworked Nevada's application after receiving feedback from the U.S. Department of Education. Nevada is one of 33 states in the District of Columbia that have been granted waivers from the federal education law. The Confederated Tribes of the Goshute Reservation plans to protest the Bureau of Land Management's recommendation to approve a massive pipeline to carry water from rural counties along the Nevada-Utah line to Las Vegas. The pipeline will allow the Water Authority to pump up to 150,000 acre-feet from water per year from the Goshute and other tribes' reservations to Las Vegas. The completed 5,000-page impact report is now up for a 60-day review before the federal agency issues a final record of decision on the Water Authority's right-of-way application. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. That's your news across Nevada. Barbara Johnston, the founder of Quilts for Cancer, delivered 24 quilts Monday morning at the new Health and Human Services building in the Calvada Eye.
Yes, we had some children's quilts, and we're going to be doing more of this throughout the year. I'm taking the next couple of weeks off because we just finished the 300 veterans quilts. And Angie and her family is visiting from New York, and they helped with some of the quilts. But we're going back to doing more for Pahrump, including the children's quilts, and we're going to do our best to keep them on hand for all the breastfeeding moms.
Angie, you helped a little bit with the quilts or just delivering?
I helped clip one.
Oh, yeah? So how you liking your visit from New York?
Great.
Wonderful. How old are you?
Almost 10. I'll be 10 tomorrow.
So what's it mean to you to deliver these to these kids here?
It's great.
Barbara, tell me a little bit about the people who helped out in making these.
Quilters from all over. Some were some of the moms themselves that have a program here that earn money and learn how to work. Some of them did some of the basic quilting. Some are advanced quilters. We have every range of quilting and color. And we aren't looking for perfection. We're looking for sturdy, usable, child-friendly quilt.
And this means so much to the Nevada State Health Division once again.
It's awesome. It helps, you know, it encourages moms to breastfeed. It's just a nice little gift that we're able to give them and show them that they're on the right path. And Barbara has a great heart, and she does a lot for Pahrump, and we're really grateful that she thought about us and our moms. So thank you, Barbara.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. How many clients are we going to be able to give these quilts to?
I think I have 24 today. I could have lost track of counting. I've been known to forget a thing now and then, but that's a good start.
If people want to find out more about Quilts for Cancer, help quilt, or donate supplies, how can they do that?
They can give me a call. It's 775-751-5356. And when I'm out, there's a wonderful machine at.
That's all, folks, for this edition of News 46's Weekend Review. Some of the events this weekend include...
starting at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning until 5, we have the free clothing giveaway at the LDS Church over on Wilson.
And that is for back to school, and they collect clothes all year long to provide clothes free to the kids for back to school.
Which is awesome, and it should be quite an event.
And Desert View Hospital, like we told you earlier in the broadcast, will be having their health fair. That's from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. They're at the hospital. And Butch Andre Harper will be having his condolence card for the city of Aurora there. If you would like to sign that card, he'll be delivering it in person next week. And if you would like to provide your own card, he will also be accepting those.
And Steve Horsford's also going to be at the hospital today, and he's our congressional candidate?
Yes, and that's on Saturday. Congressional candidate for the District 4 seat, Stephen Horsford, will be there from 10 a.m. until noon. If you would like to meet him, he'll be there shaking hands and telling you all about his campaign.
Yes, and Cup of Faith is having a grand opening today over on Frontage Road, and it's like from 10 until 2.
And once again, that is on Saturday from 10 until 2, and that's right across the street from Walmart. If you would like to go see Cup of Faith, they've moved from the Postal Road location. And what else is going on?
My favorite, and that's Movies in the Park, and tonight we'll be playing Tintin.
And that will begin at dusk at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park there, and bring your chairs.
All right, and don't forget the popcorn, folks.
And that does it for this edition. We'll see you again next week. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Jason Koblenz.
Good night.
Good night.